This is Michael Kelly welcoming you to another edition of Hometown Movies here on Comcast Cablevision. Again, for a second time, we're going to leave film a little bit and go back to the roots of film, and that is the live stage. With us again this week is Mano Breckinridge from the Buckham Theater. Mano, thanks for coming back again.
Thank you once again, Michael.
This time you brought some clips of some of the Buckham productions.
Yes, some of the Buckham productions that I directed, yes.
Okay. Now, the Buckham Theater, which any of our viewers who may not recall, is in downtown Flint, right across from the Michigan Bell building behind the Old Elks Club.
Okay.
And it is an experimental theater. We talked a lot about that last program. What sort of things can you do at Buckham Theater that you can't do in other theaters?
I wouldn't quite put it that way, because anything is possible on a vice versa basis.
Mm-hmm.
And experimental in the sense that it is alternative. It's the type of we are able to do the types of theaters the other theater groups may not want to attempt for reasons that they know best.
Mm-hmm.
And the Buckham, I think the last time we were speaking, I did mention the fact that it lends itself to hopefully younger directors and younger actors coming in who want to express themselves in more contemporary terms, and perhaps that was one of the purposes of the Buckham Theater, and it certainly does serve that purpose.
What do you think the strength is of the physical space you work in?
The strength of this physical space to me is its immediacy.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that I'm so close to an audience, and I get the feedback that I require, as opposed to playing proscenium where there is this legendary fourth wall. You're talking into a black void, and there are actors who do have to get used to the idea of communicating so closely with an audience. And it is also a three-quarter thrust stage,
mm-hmm.
so you cannot walk the laterals. Mm-hmm. You have to block the play on its diagonals.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally do not use stage left and stage right, and I use the face of the clock,
mm-hmm.
and say move to 11,
mm-hmm.
or move down to 5 o'clock. Yeah.
To any of our viewers who may not understand the stage that you're describing, you have an audience on 3 sides of the
That's
stage,
right.
And you seat less than 100. So we're talking a very intimate theatrical setting. You have maybe 30 people here and 30 people here and 40 people here in a very close. I would think in the back row you're not more than 10 or 15 feet away from
It's about correct,
the actors,
sure.
And actresses.
And that immediacy, I think, does a lot to actors, and when they come in as kind of novices, in the sense novices to the space, and it really frightens and intimidates them to a certain extent, but
mm-hmm.
They surely get used to it very quickly.
Different actors must have different reactions. I can remember when I act, I've done about 20-some stage productions, and some in very close quarters, and it's funny because there's a part that is not at all aware of the audience and a part that is very aware of the audience.
Yes.
Some actors must find that exciting and others terrifying, to be that close to the audience.
What would you find it, Michael? I've listened to you. You obviously have a tremendous passion for the theater, and how would you find it?
Oh,
I mean, you have viewed shows there, haven't you?
I would love it. I think it's a beautiful theater. Both from the audience viewpoint, I like being that close. It enhances the sense of participation and involvement. Also, you simply are more aware. You simply see more and hear more, and it allows the actors and actresses to be a little more subtle, a little more, well, realistic is maybe not the right term, but a bit more real, perhaps.
I think there is the initial fear, and once that is overcome, it certainly, what it does, Michael, is I think it takes us all the way back, way back to our ancestors, the campfire setting. there around the campfire are the men who could run the fastest, the bravest men, the strongest men, and there they are talking about the lion that is lying dead, the day's hunt, and somebody is describing it verbally until Ook or Pow or Pung or Zook jumps up and says, look, let me show you how it happened. And he wears the lion's skin, and that very minute theater began. And there is that the immediacy of the campfire setting, sitting around these great men, the men who could run the fastest, the men who could talk best, and the actors